Have you all seen the recent Breakfast Club tea? Hey, I got a couple things I want to say about it. As it relates to Katt Williams, hey man, I actually agree with Katt Williams on this one, right? Let me explain. So Charlamagne said something to the degree of, if you really want to shake the room, then you go to the top. Well, we've seen the results of that. When Kanye went and shook the top, when he went and got started to expose the elite people in the music industry, you see what happened, right? They took his career from him, made him apologize. Same thing happened to Nick Cannon, right? Almost the same relation to Dave Chappelle when they took his career from him, as well, and he came back and had to apologize too. Even though he may do it in a joking way, he still apologized, in his own way. And the thing about Katt, what he mentions is, he didn't compromise his standards, to be where he is. That's what he mentions. Now, I don't know him personally to know whatever, but it seems as if he's telling the truth. And when you have people who do compromise their standards to get in certain positions, it changes the dynamic of working your ass off, right? You have some people who work their ass off to get in a certain position. You got some people who open their ass up to get into a certain position. And yet, those people who open their booty up to get in a certain position will still, exclaim, you don't know what I had to do to get here. You had a choice to compromise your standards, right? So, and that moves me into what Dave Chappelle was saying. You know, we see what unfolds when you talk about these elite people. They'll take your career from you. They've done it time and time again. They show you that. So what happens now is you got to look at the people who are compromising their standards for these people because they now become the problem because that would keep those other people in power because they can always use the token people as an example of if you just give in to us, we got you. You look at your Steve Harvey, your Cedric the Entertainer, your Kevin Hart's and things of that nature. Hey man, I'm not gonna make a get my opinion on what they may have done to get where they at in their career. That's their decision. But when you compromise your standards to get in certain positions, that makes it harder for people who won't compromise their standards. So that should be exposed. You should expose that because that makes it harder for others. And then, not only that, if I didn't work my ass off to get into a certain position, and you talk about how you worked your ass off, but you actually opened your ass up. In other words, you have compromised your own standards to get to a certain position. I don't want people to compare me to you. I want to make sure you know the difference. I want to make sure you know what come with that compromise is a certain package. You don't see that package on me. So I think what Katt Williams did was honorable. Like you at this point in life, man, it's time to start doing that. Like it's time to expose certain things because you're in the way now because you are making it you're setting up the board for these people who are in these elite positions, these elite other races, if you want to go into that realm of it. But these elite people, you're allowing them to still be in power. Mr. Dave Chappelle, you not coming forward with some of that stuff is you participating in the machine. You participating in it still being able to treat people a certain way for it to put you in a compromising position. It needs to be exposed. I honor Katt for that, man, because hey man, you gotta let it be known, man. Hey, this the reason why most of these people are in power and the reason why they could keep coming to brothers and taking their careers from them is because you got brothers that's in the way that they could use it as an example to say, hey, they compromised and look at them. They're a success. And it make it hard for those who don't choose to compromise their standards, you know. So those that don't compromise their standards, they still are in a position to have their careers taken from them or shook up from them because the powers that be, they got them token guys that they can always look at to show the masses. This is an example is if you this is an example of if you work with us, compromise and make the choice. All you gotta do is put on the dress. All you gotta do is keep them type of people out. Make sure you bring more people to act like you. I honor Katt. I think y'all wrong for this one, Dave Chappelle and Charlemagne.